Hi everyone, it is Sally here from Strength for Dance, and I'm joined today by the lovely Sammy, and we're going to be looking at a couple of early level core recruitment exercises. So we're going to be looking at knee fold 1, knee fold 2, and then some toe taps. And again, I use these a lot in my classes with my adults and dancers, and we use it a lot in clinic with early level recruitment of core control and with dynamic hip stability as well. So we're going to be starting in this setup, making sure we have our 3 points of contact. So that's middle pelvis, middle rib cage, middle head. She's actually balancing on her bun. If you do have your hair in a bun, make sure it's quite flat like this so that you're not working with your head poking forwards. Shoulder blades are relaxed. We already know what our core cueing is, and we're used to breathing through the abdomen, but those would be your check-ins. So the first exercise we'll be looking for is connecting in with your deep tummy, and then we're going to be floating the knee up. So that's floating the knee or folding the knee and then lowering again, and then repeating on the other side. So as we go through this, what we want to be watching for is that we can maintain a natural curve in the low back, and that we're not tilting and squashing the back down, that we have no tension going on up here. Shoulders are relaxed and broad, face and neck very relaxed. She looks very relaxed at bliss. And then with our outer abdomen, so our outer unit remains relaxed. And we do this just by some gentle recruitment in that inner unit. Don't forget to watch for those videos if you're unsure. We're also checking that the pelvis can remain still. So we often use visuals like balancing a tray of hot drinks on the pelvis here. Watching as well that the knee does come over the hip. If we hover with the leg just a tiny bit off center, the outer hip muscles will grab in and recruit. So we want to be able to bring them to here so that they can relax off and that we're perfectly stacked. Now, initially, it can be quite hard to get that leg to come up without these outer muscles gripping and bulging. So what we would look at is to scoop the foot in and then fold up. So we have a smaller base of support and a smaller lever to be working with. Once we've achieved this, we then come up, we hold this leg, and we actually bring in a little bit of outer core control now as we exhale and float the second knee up. And this position is often called tabletop in Pilates because it looks a little bit like a tabletop. So I could balance my meal and my drinks on there. Again, watch point, knees are over hips. So again, the minute this comes just a tiny bit off center, the abdomen really driving up and bracing, and that's not what we want. We want to be able to be in a position where the thighs are stacked and relaxed, front of the hip flexors relaxed, and our outer unit can actually chill out a little bit as well. And then we're going to lower one leg down and then the other. So with regards to deep tummy recruitment here, she would exhale and float her first knee up, and then dial up the volume on these outer muscles. Exhale, float the second knee, pause, have a little period of chill, exhale, lower one leg, that's outer and inner unit, and then we're back down to a softer abdomen here, aren't we? And then lower the second leg. So as we run through this, we have deep tummy fold, increase the outer connection, second leg comes up, maybe a sense of relax again. Outer unit helps to stabilize, but then we can chill again, turn the volume down as that leg comes down. As she comes through, I'll carry on talking. The other big watch points here, as that second leg comes up, we want to make sure we don't see this boom, doming or rising within the tummy. You can tell if that's happening, so if you just do it and allow your pelvis to tilt. So as that second leg comes up, don't know if you noticed, but there was some movement up here as well. Just do that once more for me, Sammy. So knee will fold up, don't have good control. You can see this sort of jiggling of the shoulders and the head, and that's a bit of a giveaway that this area isn't stabilizing very well. But you can happily, if you're doing this on your own or if you're teaching a class, just rest your hand here, and we just want to monitor that it doesn't thud or come into what's termed rectus pufus. It's a very anatomical name. Learned that at uni. Yeah, obviously that's not a real term. Okay, then when we come up into tabletop, moving on to our next level, we come into toe tapping. So as we exhale now, one toe will tap to the floor, inhale, return back up again. And this is like a very small scissor motion, coming from the exercise scissors in Pilates. Watch points here. Again, this is going to remain flat, no rectus plus. We're going to have a same natural curve in the low back, shoulders relaxed, head and neck relaxed. So from about here upwards, it looks like we're not doing anything. And then from here down, we have some nice controlled work. Remember, if this is difficult initially, tap super close to your bottom, small lever. And then as you get more skilled, you can tap further away from the hip. And this makes this exercise a little harder. Now, if we add the bands into this one, so you may as well stay there and I'll just clip you in. We have a slightly different focus now on our muscle action because she's now in an enclosed ring. When she moves her leg away, we're now actually working against the ring. So we're going to get a little bit more work towards the back of the hip. The nice thing about having this ring here as well is that it gets her to work a little bit more in her hip flexors here to stabilize, and then she works more at the back of the hip to lengthen away. Do you feel like it creates more work for your tummy or a little bit less work for your tummy?
A bit less.
A little bit less, yeah, okay. And how do you feel in your deep hip area?
That I have to stabilize a lot more.
You need to stabilize, so it works the deep hip nicely. It also lessens the gripping and activity on the outer hip. And due to that stability ring, we're going to get a sense of more stability through the pelvis. Good job. Now, if we just lower one leg down again and come back to our knee folds 1, which was this one, we've got our ring in play again. So again, we're training the deep hip flexors, maybe some of the superficial ones as well. And we can also create more hip flexion training. So I'm just going to monitor that her back and pelvis stays the same. And then she's going to flex in deeper and then come back to center and then lower. So we have a knee fold to tabletop, but then we're going to train drawing the knee up into deep flexion without tilting the pelvis, flattening the back, but really using our deep hip recruiters. And this kind of motion is important for if you want to be taking your leg up here, which I'm going to demonstrate with my arm because my legs don't go up there, and getting some of your high retires and high développés. And how's that feeling in your body?
Good, very nice.
Yeah, good?
Yeah.
And this is just the lighter band. If you want to add more resistance on, you can go up to the next level, which is red, or if you want to, up again into the green. So we've got neutral, deep hip flexion, and this is called hip pelvic dissociation. So being able to keep the pelvis stable and flex into the hip. Just watch, please note, no pinching in this area when you are exercising. It is imperative that this just has a sense of smooth movement. If it is a bit pinchy due to your bony anatomy, you might want to bring the knee just slightly out to the side. So if you're set up a little bit more inclined to turn out, you might want to bring your knee just slightly out to the side of the pelvis. So these are 3 nice and quite common core recruitment exercises. Knee folds 1, knee fold 2, and then we had our toe taps or miniature scissors. And then we showed the addition of an external load, which is going to increase the recruitment and strength training. Rock solid core. Bye.